what remedial action do you take ha motho a teng le dila le ene?
Like he was saying, Ghana in the past, they were holding large sums of monies. So now the government has said now we should digitalize by swiping. Secondly, in the past, these collectors were junior officers. So it has been decided that senior officers, a certain scale, should hold cash. So, and lastly, they went on training, and the supervisors were, these people have a collector cash. Before our revenue, at the go and I bonds and pampirle madi or collectile bocana, is a revenue, has a revenue, rapel one. I who bonds di pampiri le di resitori nya me indeed ke tswa gore mitakaro what happened in the past ne ke rama I supervisor ke re ke a revenue be ke dikologa be ke boa ke ta ke mara ke nya me ke tswa revenue go sena di checks
me a sore potso yone mo goreng remedial action in nine ha hetsa ba dirile jang
in government procedures ke gore they are two stage or three stage. A process administrative. Even when you are still waiting for the process investigation, and then in this case, because this one is a very serious case, the disciplinary hearings will take place as quick as is possible. And normally, even by the time process is either suspended or already a kubilomotiro.
But this junior officer is at the end. And mind you, somebody was sleeping in their job to allow such huge sums of money without any checks and balances. Is there action against those who were responsible to ensure Madia Motoyo that is the question.
So in this particular one, I would not personally recall because that was then, but the procedural way will normally be that people who were in the supervisory be surcharged. And the accountant can help me to remember in this particular one, or in anyone similar.
Yeah.
John.
Honorable, maybe you want to guide on remedial actions?
Action it's a back. Someone jele madia kalokalo almost half a million. I be kare go saba mora ga gagwe go bonya. Ya ka le bua gore latest follow-up was made on Attorney General Kaditutsaha May 2025. May issue the last time we had to draw action ki April 2024. Kurmadia kana naketsa gore tso go tsibogelwe action. Le go mpeko la be re twa go tenya motho tshwere ampo go diragala e seng gore go sampe go go budua Attorney General gore re direja.
I guess Honorable Pologolo was also saying that if such amounts of money have been misappropriated, then the supervisory should bear the brunt of such charge. But it doesn't look like that has happened. So maybe in terms of the process, there's no clarity. That is why almost all the time, people who are surcharged are drivers. High level revenue, it's madi, o cargo hatting by longer by responsible como supervisor. Those who are responsible to put in the controls, they normally would walk scot-free. I think that is the concern of this committee.
Yes, we agree, totally agree with you, sir. Because this happened in 2016. The original amount was above 600,000, but we managed to recover from her leave days, her C1 arrears. We tried, so the amount now is 400 and something. So we did everything to recover.
Can I point out something just to see how these controls are not taken seriously? About 600,000 pula. Question will be, misappropriate mo period kana kae. It would be interesting to know and have proper information, or it was misappropriated over a period of how many months or years, because then it will point out, or there are other players besides the one person who lost their job, whom you are pursuing to recover this money, because she's just bearing the brunt. It was a whole syndicate that was siphoning this money out of the government coffers. It was over how long?
It's noted, so we will.
Yeah, I mean, the kind of me and him idea. Ajelo kalabak he's bringing the possibility out. Maybe it was a syndicate, and now the fall person was the one who was at the end of it.
No, I understand, Honorable. So I'm not disputing your fact.
Okay.
So we will reconcile.
Other than swiping, what other controls do you have now, and what is the regime for making sure that the money is recovered? It doesn't look like there's clarity here, I'm afraid. Oh, another 1,000.
We are trying to say it should not take you when revenue is being collected on a daily basis almost. So you should have been able to nab it the first 2 months or so. Because revenue, but how much depositor the question here, how long did this happen before you detect it?
Bogolo ja Mr. Chair, ka gore o supile gore ha ya go deposita le ha sna go nna a deposita swantse re somebody a bone ya no ke ra ke go tatsa rates gore a gone ha ya la go a go nne a go clarify gore what happened kana madi is a lot of money.
Thank you, Honorable. You remember this thing, it happened at Mau. Those years, 2016 or before 2016. That's what we agree with you, all what you are saying. There should be some checks. That it happened.
Struggling as you may be.
Sorry, you.
Accountant General, in addition to controls that we have put in place, seeing that there is a lot of misappropriation of funds by revenue collectors, there are some spot checks by the treasury cashiers. They do spot checks on their revenue collectors. They print a receipt tracking report showing that there is a certain revenue collector that have opened a receipt and has not remitted the money on time. So they do the spot checks to reduce those delays. Thank you.
That's one element. That's a control. I'm still interested more in you can't move away from 600,000 and those who are responsible to supervise, to check, counter check, and ensure what action has been taken. If none was, would it not this soul, poor soul here, is a victim here, the scapegoat. Maybe Attorney General here should be able to assist or this particular matter, because there could be many like this. Are we in a position to know who else was involved in terms of not ensuring my dear we can't just leave it like that.
Me chairman, gone me ke ra ke ipoletsa hela a gona le case
gore a go repotile kwa mapodising ampo motho o tsamaya hela morrakana le ene go ntse go twe nya o tla duela. So this matter is very serious, very, very serious. Gape le nna ke tsa gore ha letla bona madi a kana ke tsa gore letla le ipakantse gore kana me dipotso di a go nna teng. Botswala gore a repotile go mapodising e ha kae other than you having written the letter to Attorney General.
Chair, case is one of those cases which was not handled properly. I was trying to converse with my colleague here, and she's even saying she can't remember if there was any report to the police, for instance. Now what I spoke earlier on was the process they would normally take place. I remember when we were looking at this case, I tried to source as much information because it's a very old matter which had happened then. And I could tell it's in that situation. So
I think now Honorable Polo was talking about the possibility of a syndicate having stolen the money. Because where there is a syndicate, this kind of omissions, for instance, reporting to the police, really shouldn't happen. So how wanagornale deposit it's a procedure, let's a process, let's a control. How go simula go belaetsa gore gongwe go ne go na le bokunutunyana jo o ne mo dirwa go leka go cover di tracks tsa ba bangwe ba ene gore bone le bone ba benefitile mme ba ha go dimunyana ka maemo. I think I will agree with you that probably that is the case. How bona do tse di tsiweng ela gore di a dirwa nako le nako di sa dirwe. So then therein lies, but is a monitor is going to come back to us, right?
It will be here unless somehow it's recovered. Yeah, it's a monitor. No, it's a monitor.
Chairman.
Before the matter, can't we seek advice from the Attorney General on how to handle this matter?
I would really do that, sir. So what usually happens in these matters when there's a misappropriation, the accounting officer says, clients take the administrative process, disciplinary hearing is held.
Can you speak louder, sir, please?
I thought this was okay, sir. Client, the accounting officer, he takes administrative process and does a recommendation. When it comes to the Attorney General is to collect what they have found to have been misappropriated. Now, the burden of reporting the case to the police is on client, because his client is the complainant. The Attorney General is not the complainant. So client is supposed to pursue that criminal aspect of the case. So the Attorney General on this aspect only collects or chases after the money. So usually what will happen, a report of the disciplinary hearing will come. And inside the report, I can confirm that there was no evidence of anyone else being involved except her. That is why we went against her. So that we make analysis of the disciplinary hearing and see, is there anyone else involved? So we only saw Neo Mushosho to be the only one. So for the one whether the case was reported, usually the expectation is that maybe client will follow up that one.
Honorable Monage, you seem to have something that you...
It's a Ricky Honorable Mechape. Kore having received the letter 2 weeks back, wouldn't you have an idea or totamiano what will be the next step? I know it was asked, but what probably.
We have actually done something. We've got a writ of execution. We have got a writ against this person. This person stays next to Tomota. So she runs a fund there. So matata le nteng gantsi ka gore batho ba tle ba kubilwe mo tirong tota le tsena be le sa tlholele teng. So most of the time we get there, we find gore motho wa modimo ga na. So it is for us now to go back to client and say kana option engwe le nteng ke yone ya bo civil imprisonment. But civil imprisonment kana, you don't get civil imprisonment because motho ga kgone go duela. You get civil imprisonment because motho o kgona go duela ba wa gana. The other option ke ya gore motho wa bereka. Maybe it's got alternative employment. We can do a garnish from his salary. But most of these will be dismissed, so another one will be proceeding against his or her immovable property. So now we throw it back at client to say, client, re paletso ke go attach any immovable property ya motho. Re kopa le re thuse go identify immovable property ya motho. Kana these are the client is the person who knows this person. We say colleague, so they do that search. So that is where it usually gets stuck. There's no property which has been identified because how apply you need this writ for immovable property. It has to be specific. How we regenerate. Utauri kya touch property Raymond Chabani Yelim plot 9593 Maron. So client gets stuck there in trying to identify what Mimoto aona le CPC ngore reka sa attach.
Oneo, Kore, I think the committee is worried ka gore madi a mantsi 600,000 on bills 477. But the other worry in Honorable Pologolo and the rest ke gore mokgwa o ntseng jana re thibela jang in future. Kore ha ne go reportilwe gongwe be go emphasize-iwa ko mapodiseng gore report gore motho wa buise madi mme gape a tlhalose gore wa utswile jang. A ke mapodisi ba ka mo force gore a tlhalose kana ke gona gore wa utswile jang. Go a go senola gore gongwe bangwe ba involved mo teng gore a le bua le ene e le lona le enela. It's like the matter is not been taken seriously.
Accounting officer has clearly indicated that this matter was mishandled, and indeed it was. Where a matter has been mishandled in this manner, that is where there is now a case for going after those who mishandled. That is the most logical step that one would take. Auditor General wanted to say something?
Okay. With the controls the accounting officer said are in place, we suggest that there are still loopholes when it comes to swiping, because sometimes these swiping machines are not connected to the system, the GAP system.
So the person will just indicate that it's a swiping, but he will collect cash or she will collect cash. And then the receipt will come showing that there has been a swiping, whereas the money is in someone's pocket. So here we encourage them to make reconciliations frequently, the bank account and the receipts, to ensure that actually the money hit the bank.
Auditor General, control. So they say, in this particular case, how do you follow you again? Jano, can't you work? High load control, how do you follow you? So they are Jack a little bua, we are the full proof of Juana Tusa, ever about Pascal saying. More on a idea follow you, 400,000 you know, all situate. Horariano was our morale. By Lord Government, never control still, I did not take me was at the Raja. I get to Arzamela go accounting officer for Arzamela Goma. Mirta Mela Comu one air. You will know, and on action to Ruriata or so they did you rock at Gatamais or Pusha Scalata.
Check, can you get
keep out Nella, Honorable Porolo is beginning to say something. Okay.
Tota khasor ke araba pese na ke batla hore ke re ke dumela le wena ka hore ke dumela hore batho ba ne ba le teng dilo tse di kore is one of those things that you can't say I wasn't there. We all know the procedures of how it works, but batho ba ne ba le teng ka nako e so se dirala ba santse ba ka bona. But so now I will agree with you hore those who were in the supervisor when this was taking place, it is in our interest as well, me as an accounting officer, to know who was there so that this is taken up. As much as AG is doing something parallel, we also have to do something here, which I undertake to do myself.
Yeah, I think we
Can I help the accounting officer? Can I call it? Yeah, I'm a police. Rewanka issue, it's just that it has not been being followed up. So, Nanike recommend or maybe if a report has not been made to the police, it can still be made now.
Okay.
There's a criminal element. The criminal part of this case, but the civil one is ongoing. But how can I talk? How parallel? The criminal part can put pressure on the data. Civil or thing I get a civil imprisonment. For you to get civil imprisonment against such an officer is very difficult because
but we are making good progress, Akere, that the matter can still be reported to the police.
Yes.
And the accounting officer has undertaken to pursue the matter internally so that they then can establish yes. Sorry, the technical advisor.
And I just wanted to ask a administrative action or if this happened in 2016, can you still take that administrative action against the people responsible, considering the time if it delay?
Technical advisor, don't worry much about the time because we also want to know what happened, and we can learn from what happened. Yeah. So I think we can learn from it. I think everything spirit is on the same.
I'm worried ka prescription. Does the matter prescribe only how le moholo na ga re dira yana? Aha, ke sa reporta case e setse na le dingwaga di heta 3, 4, 5. Can I still report that case be resuscitate to become a criminal case?
So that the burden is on you, the report. Or if I'm going to report a criminal case 5 years later, as long as I've got the evidence, it doesn't prescribe. The civil one, but the criminal one, relevant for us to prosecute this case.
Okay.
Ya mathata ke nako e hitileng gore a ba santse ba le teng.
E gore ha o ka nna le bosupi bongwe e gore a gore jaanong case e ka tsoga ke tsa gore ke ha ke utlwang AG a bua ka teng. So me nna ke tsa gore re buile mme we expect it to be pursued at those two levels. We can, Honorable Sedi?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
And then obviously because it's a monitor, it will come back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look page 52. Table e ko godimo eo kana ke tswang ka kwa we monitor. Page e ko kra table e ko tase kana paragraph e ko tase ra tswala.
Memo the first one.
Huh? Yeah, Q2.
I'm on look at Q.
Huh?
Q1.
Q1 ra tswala. Q1 ra memo.
Memo.
A Q1 memo, then Q2 we close.
Q2 is a memo. Okay.
Q2.
It still has a balance.
Yeah. Why memo?
I think it's because the way it is at the table, it still has a balance. Nothing happened. No movement.
Appeal to the Public Service Commission. The appeal was upheld by the amount was therefore charged to public funds. To public funds.
But they said they did that in the 2022-23, isn't that what they're saying?
Accountant General Twisau.
Yes.
We have confirmed the case. We have to close it.
Yes.
It won't be there in 2022-23.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Honorable Sedi?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. RM go Q3, Q4, Q5, we memo. Q6, we memo. Q7, under page 54, we close. Q8, under 55 page, we close. Go page 56. Table Q9. After cut-off date, we memo. Page 57. Q10, Q11, we memo. Q12, we close. Page 58, table A, we close. Hurry up, page 59, honale paragraph 46 and non-moving advances. Table A, or sentence in it's dealt with. Then table A, 59, dealt with. Mr. Chairman, in page hello, this brings us to stop here. I submit.
Thank you very much, Honorable Sedi, for taking the lead. Kietagor di Kangri di Buile, County Officer, Mr. Otelo, Lodutule, Tedi Chenyang, committee takela ke dumela gore go bula dikgang tse dintsi thata but matshwenyego a ke thinking ne lone ha gongwe ke gore o bona dikgang di tabo di buiwa gompieno di bo di sa salo morago e be re go setse beke tse pedi gore PAC tsene people will be running frantically ba reporta ba isa dikgang go AG ba di isa kwa ke re rona re le committee re dumela gore tse di builweng gompieno di salo morago ka gore ha re kopana lona gape re tla sologela gore bona progress mme seng progress e leng gore e informiwa ke gore le takwana e informiwa ke gore le batla go servisa setšhaba le batla go somarela madi a puso ke tsaya gore I'm clear on this one and this committee ha ka ke a letella seemo se re ntse ra se bona mo dibukeng gore ga go te case e followiwe ha e le gore PAC e tsena ka May ka e tsene ka May dikgang tse dintsi ke April May hela ja that is unacceptable and committee members will be watching closely mo dikganyeng tsa go nna yana even issues that we have discussed in the narrative tsa bo months and dintsi di buiwa tsa bo citizenship le tse dingwe tumelo ya rona ke gore ha o retse ngware there is something going on itare ha re hetse re kopana le wena mo reporting ya bo 62 re bo ruta gore nyame go na le pharologanyo e diraetseng ha re batle gore re tseye gore tiro ya rona ke routine hela tota go ka utsa botoko gore bo re tsere nako e kana re le goneha re re le to lebelela dibuka tsa puso e be le gore se e leng gore re se dumalana a se diragadiwe le ha se le ka e tota go ntse lo nna go longwa hela e le gore batho bone tse di dumalaneng ba di ignore until they come here go through this ritual and that's it so kere tumelo ke gore ta sa di khamorago ka bone maoko a o ke a lo leboga batho betso gore bole ya appear le ka kwano we are looking forward to see you tomorrow re o pelo ta ka lekwalo wa le ga go la lekwalo le la gore jaanong batho ba thuswe ba e leng gore ba na le botsadi jo bo ka tswa jo bongwe motsadi wa telo wa Botswana yo mongwe le ha tsele se ta bota ka lekwalo ke ra la re kopana na re kopana lekwalo la teng le lone la ntha a tafoleng yaka ke o ka e confirma le committee gore yes indeed re o pelo o tiste lekwalo ke a leboga batho betso yaanong
na o builana wa botswetse mokane ke re
ona re motao sane ebile ene o hetsa gatetse pelare ene o go lebela letsatsi ko kgaolong gore leta ka dikae mme o buisanye le bone ka re tsatsi la teng ngwe ka o ba le ko maungo ba ile ko ya honorable ke kgonegile ke ra gore nyame ke tsaya gore go ntse hela jang thank you re ta go bona ka moso
wa letela ke re kana ya ka o bua golo ha re tlhokometse madi a setšhaba le dilo tsa setšhaba mme nna a ke itse gore a go a letelesega kakanyo ya mene e le gore gongwe le lona komiti le se ka la re ka toga thata kana ga o bona dilo tse di ya go ta ka bo April le ka bo May bone ngwe go senwana go ana o isiwa gore PAC killing and I believe it's not only here I think it happens across government gore a gore le lona le nne le thulaganyo sentle through your secretariat gore le bate di report tsa dilo tse le dumelang gore ha di ka ga se di ka tsa ngwaga ka gore ha di ka tsa ngwaga go sengwe se ka senyega go sa bobedi hela bile le sa bo helo tsa gore a ke itse gore kana ga ke tse di statute tse di setileng komite gore di ntse ya mene ke re ke a na ke ne ke a itumela go na le thulaganyo ya gore batho ba ne dilo di diragala ba le teng nako eo la ba sa report bate le o taba nako eo ile no reporta bate tatse go ho kana la ba sa te ba tisetse bosupi ko pele information e buang o no bua ka gore a re ka tswela re le hatsa ile gore ba bangwe ba santse ba kgakgantha engwe ka kwa ba bangwe ba ne ba batla go budiwa dilo tse ba sa itse go dira hitsena koma gora gore re kopanne mme le nne le thulaganyo lona le committee le ba kwalela gore tabe re le ha meritso re kana kwa gore no le kwa ra go botsa motho le teng gompieno gore go diragala yang ba le botsa
ke mogopolo re tao seka me e tona e e buang ke gore re se ka ra le ka toga a ke re committee ke kgakololo ka a ke re tota re dareka ka tsone dikgakololo gore le rona e se ka ra nna hela e be re a go ntshiwa notice e be le gone re kana PAC gore a gore ka metlha re bo re ntse re setse morago dikgang through our secretariat ke ratile kgang ya ga re mo nageng mo nako e hitileng e na re go le ba go sa tsewe di-notes goa a re go le ba go sa tsewe di-notes goa mme le ga le na ra jwa gore nya di-notes di a tsewa mme le hansa di lone teng so that we can have both records di-notes tsa bone le di-notes tsa rona ka gore mongwe le mongwe gona gago le ene go tara ikwala-kwalele tseo tse di botlhokwa mme be e le gore yaanong mo nakong le rona re batla go monitora progress and we can monitor progress rona through our secretaries gore ko ministering o go tsamaya kae ka kganye ko ministering o go tsamaya kae kganye I think you are right and ke rata gone gore ga o boihi committee go e gakolola yala o phuthulogile ke rata seo gore ga e se ke a nna burden ya rona hela re le accounting officers le lona thomamisang gore le nna ga o hile rona I think committee utule.
Yes, sir. Chairman.
Honorable Monitor.
Yeah,
me chairman Rabuile, ale na gakologelwa gore he's an accounting officer. O bona go ne mo hela, o tsantse re le ene go ministering wa gagwe. A tekwane dilo tsa di a le ditse jabana. Kana wa leteresa ka gore go phelong ya letsatsi go lebega ena no nga pele ditota.
Go re ke ena ke accounting officer. Accounting officer go twa gone gore ke accounting officer ke ena a rabelang sengwe le sengwe ke mme se na se gakolola ke gore rona ha re mokatoga o tilo nna ta okay o gore ha re mokatoga o tilo nna ta ka one mathale one ya abo April May ya ba lori he walks away with madam me lord tota gone le ha selo le senyegelwa ke madi batho ba tshaba ya rona ga e bone service mme ne ke re ra buile gona le re mongwe ke bona dile ke tota ya magadinao thank you very much batho